Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Vallejo Late Night Basketball Press Conference. We are so glad and excited that you came to learn more about what is going to start happening every Friday of the summer, starting this coming Friday. My name is Dr. Ramona Bishop. I am the president of the Vallejo Late Night Basketball Board, and I am proud and happy that we are continuing with a program that has proven to be successful over time. I was looking back at old notes and I found notes about Eyeball Vallejo under New Dawn Vallejo, and it was back in 2016 that I saw the post, and it highlighted the partnership between Vallejo Police Department, Vallejo Health and Correction, Solano County Health and Human Services, Solano County Probation Department, and all coming together for the purpose of ensuring that our young people had something to do. Now, I grew up not too long ago in a little city called Richmond, California. And in that city, every Saturday night during the summer, there were these things called lock-ins. They would lock us in to the bowling alley from 12 midnight till 6 a.m. We were all high school students. We would party, we would bowl, we would talk with one another, we would play cards, we would play dominoes. And at 6 a.m., our parents would come to pick us up. And we did not tear up the bowling alley. Can you believe it? It was just somewhere safe for us to go and to have fun on a Saturday night. Well, we're not locking people in bowling alleys like back in that day. We are just allowing for on every Friday night, starting this Friday, for there to be an opportunity for young people to play basketball, to come cheer each other on. They may play some cards and get beat by Miss Cookie. They may play some dominoes, but at the end of the day, they're going to be safe. And when we convened back in 2016, that was our sole purpose. That what was happening was that our young people were doing things they had no business because there was nothing constructive for them to do. This is a solution to ensure that our young people not only are safe, but also are not getting into trouble in the streets of Vallejo on a Friday night. You're going to hear from some various stakeholders, including board members, including our executive director, including the woman herself, City Council member Helen Marie Cookie Gordon, who decided we should reinvigorate this thing called Eyeball Vallejo and make it late night basketball. So without further ado, I will turn it over to City Council member Cookie Gordon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that wonderful introduction. To add to why this was important to me, as a mother who lived in Sacramento, we I got involved with someone who started crossover basketball, and the individuals, they played as if they were playing pro ball. He made sure they had pro uniform. His name was Omar Turner, and he did that because there was a lot of black on black crime, brown on brown crime, and likewise the same. And so our young people needed something to do that, likewise, I said earlier, to play safe. And so he brought me in to the vision as the cheer coach. And I saw a program that was not only successful, but it also had a testimony behind it, because when the games started seeing territories being expanded, they wanted to claim those territories. And those individuals who were part of the late night basketball, crossover basketball, became friends. So what we didn't know as adults, they made alliance that while we are here, everything else stays. When we leave, it picks back up. But anyways, but we as adults didn't know that until this incident happened. And because of that relationship, 4 years later, when that happened, that bloodbath did not take place. And those who are in law enforcement know what that may look like. And those who are parents may feel the repercussion of that, siblings, so forth and on. It doesn't just affect one person; it affects the whole community. And so I felt like I was going to more funerals than I was going to anything else. So because of that crossover basketball, I remember I was talking to Dr. Bishop about it. She already knows who Omar Turner is and who crossover basketball is, and what that program means. But our kids need that. But what hurts me is when they said that we adults let them down. And so we can't say that now no more, can they? Because we're here. And that's all. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you for everybody who's stepping up, including to Dr. Bishop and Lewis Michael for saying yes to the call. So with that, I'd like to introduce Lewis Michael, our director.
All right, thank you. So my name is Lewis Michael. I am the director for Vallejo Late Night Basketball. A little bit about myself. I taught for 4 years in Vallejo as a middle school social studies teacher. I've been, involved in the community, and last year I got an email from Councilwoman Gordon about late night basketball returning. It was just a call that she put out for people who wanted to be a part of it to come and be a part of a meeting and try to make it happen. I didn't know anything about it at the time. When the original late night basketball program was going, I was in college, all the way in Kansas, so I wasn't able to be a part of that. So when I got home, I was working, doing some community work, and then just last year with this revival effort of late night basketball, I showed up to the meeting and just saw a real opportunity to kind of step in and try to really move this forward in a way where we're, focusing on the community, focusing on the youth. And when Councilwoman Gordon asked me if I wanted to kind of take over and take things by the reins and step in and direct the program, I thought about it. It was, I had a lot of obligations and conflicting priorities, but I knew that it was just meant to be that I just ended up happening to be at that meeting and to continue to get involved. So I'm grateful to be here and to be a part of this effort. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge all of our partners and sponsors who have been really just essential in making this program happen, because without their support and their investment, whether it's time or energy or finances, none of this would be possible. So it's a long list because we have lots of partners, which is a great problem to have. So just bear with me. So our program partners, these are people who are investing in the program through their time and through their energy and their effort. We've had planning meetings since March of this year, where we've been just coming together in this room every 2 weeks to plan this program out and make sure everything's ready to go. So these are our program partners who've been a part of that process and have joined those meetings. Councilwoman Helen Marie Gordon, the Vallejo Police Department, the City of Vallejo, Solano Community Foundation, Solano County Probation, Elite Public Schools, Greater Vallejo Recreation District, iHeart, Center for Urban Excellence, East Bay Basketball Officials Association, Sweet Treatments, Supervisor Cassandra James's office, Angels with Hearts, Toro University's Public Health Program, Yo Ball Sports, NAACP's Vallejo branch, One People Tribe, Healthy Vallejo, and Emmanuel Temple. So these are the people who've showed up every planning meeting and have been working hard to make sure this program comes to life. Now for our sponsors, these are the people who, I said this earlier, but they put their money where their mouth is. They care about the youth in Vallejo. They wanted to see something positive happen, and they believed in this program, and so they donated financially. And we are grateful for their support and for the ability to be able to return the second year with more funding now than we raised in the previous year, to be able to build out some of these extra components that are going to keep youth safe and support them. So Yocha Dihi Winton Nation, the city of Vallejo, Vallejo firefighters, local 1186 union, Assembly Member Lori Wilson's office, and Kaiser Permanente, in the state of California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. So that's the folks who have invested this year. And I want to give a special shout out to Yocha Dihi Winton Nation as being our main contributor, contributing $50,000 to our program through a grant. So we applied for a grant back in March, I believe, and we are just really grateful that Yocha Dihi Winton Nation stepped up and decided to fund our program, because they do a lot of amazing work in Vallejo, but also, you know, the wider region, and to have their support makes us feel like we're doing something right if they believe in it too. So just wanted to give a special shout out, and then to the city of Vallejo for a $25,000 grant that we received from the city of Vallejo. With all that being said, just quickly before I pass it on, I just wanted to share a little bit about the program and some of the things we're building this year. So we're doing our basketball. That's what gets people through the doors. We tell people, hey, come hang out at night in the gym. You'll be safe. You'll have food. You can come play basketball. But we're also trying to let that just be what gets them there. And then once they're there, we want to connect with them. We want to mentor them. We want to give them resources. So we have other community partners who will be tabling each night, who will be there to offer them resources, to give them different life skills, different trainings, different workshops, all happening, you know, while basketball is being played and while kids are having a good time. It's only for ages 12 to 25 to play basketball, but it is open to the entire community. So families, siblings, grandparents, community members are all welcome to come and see what's happening and to connect with the community, with the youth, and also getting connected with those resources as well. The last thing I want to say is our operation is from June 19th through August 7th, every Friday nights from 6 p.m. to midnight. And we have 8 weeks of programming planned, and we have themed nights this year. So each night has a different theme where we'll be connecting people with resources related to that theme and inviting community partners to come and share their resources with the youth. So we'll have Community Health and Wellness Night on June 26th. We'll have Community Safety and Healing Night on July 23rd or July 3rd. We'll have Civic Engagement Night on July 10th. College and Career Readiness Night on July 17th. Financial Literacy Night on July 24th. And Arts and Culture Night on July 31st, and then our closing night celebration on August 7th. So these are all opportunities for us to have those partners that are doing work in those areas to be able to connect with youth and offer resources. So I just wanted to share that. We're also building a workforce development program that you're going to hear about from our East Bay Basketball Officials Association in just a minute. But we are also happy to announce that we were able to bring on some youth interns that we're paying this summer to support the program operations, and they're going to be doing different things to help make sure things are running smoothly each night, helping schedule our volunteers and coordinate our partners and all of those things. So they're getting hands-on experience that they can put on their resume and be able to use that as something to help them in the future when they're looking for a career. So we're excited to have 6 interns at the moment that will be getting paid stipends for their time and commitment. And we have some in the room, so thank you for being here. And so with all that being said, we're growing, we're expanding, we're hoping to continue to build so this can be a program that is foundational and sustained in Vallejo as something that's concrete and everybody knows is happening each year. And so we're not trying to scramble to make it all happen each year, but really having that foundation to be able to build off of for years to come. So thank you all. I know I talk a lot, but I wanted to make sure to get all that out there so the community knows, so everyone is aware of what's happening and knows really most important thing is it's more than just basketball. We care about our youth being seen, being valued, being cared for, and feeling like they can show up to a place with no strings attached and just be themselves and not feel like they have to perform or to be a certain way around adults, to really just be themselves and get the love and attention and care that they deserve. So with that, I'm done now. I'm going to pass it to Josette to talk about her role and her perspective. So thank you.
Thank you, Lewis. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. My name is Josette Lacey. I'm the Community Engagement Manager at the Solano Community Foundation. And I have this quick little story that I have to share, and I hope that I'm sharing it many years down the road. But I remember when Councilwoman Gordon called me and said, Josette, can you come to can you come to the library? I want to open up this idea for late night basketball. And so I came right here to this room, and she called all the right people here to this room. And many more came to follow as I have met new faces here today. But everybody, getting us set here in the room, having the location, I want to thank Dr. Bishop for welcoming us to her home, to Elite School, and securing that location. And then all the hard work that Lewis was doing. He is a great leader and a great advocate. And so once we got to that point, I said, hey, you guys, where is the money? How are we going to fund all of this? And so that was really where my role came in. If you don't know me, I have no problem asking for money if I believe in the cause. And children are very important. A little bit something personal about me is I was born and raised here in the city of Vallejo. I went to public schools, and I have 3 children that I raised here that I'm still raising. My daughter's in the room. I won't point her out, but she's 13, and basketball is her favorite sport. But for her to have a location to go to, my sons that are now adults, we didn't really have anywhere to take them for them to play in a safe environment like Vallejo Late Night Basketball. And so last summer, although I was asking for funds and coordinating all the food that was available for the kids and getting to know them, my daughter was right there alongside me, and she had the best time. She has told me that when summer was over, we always evaluate it because we do all these weird things like that and, write things and etc. But it was her favorite thing to do in the summer. And I heard that from many of the participants that were there. Having that location, getting a nice meal, and like I shared with somebody here earlier asking about sponsors for food, sometimes the kids don't eat it right there. Sometimes they take it home, and they're having it at home. They might not have a nice hot meal to have. And so I enjoyed getting those sponsorships for meals. So this program is important to me in so many ways. And what I did fail to mention was Solano Community Foundation. We are the fiscal sponsor. So it was something that somebody from GVRD, I think, called Leslie, our CEO, and said, how can you help us? How can we make this work? And so Leslie jumped to the opportunity and has really made things work. And we've been really learning right alongside with Lewis, trying to, we're glad that they have their executive board now and that they're able to get the funds, get them out there the right way, and just making sure that we're dotting all our I's and crossing all of our T's. So I want to thank everybody that's here, everybody that was here before, long ago, doing this work with kids in the community. And I'm really happy to be part of it. And I want to just thank everybody.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victoria Grace Barksdale, and I'm the youth coordinator for the city of Vallejo. And like many people up here, I just really believe in this program. Not only is the city of Vallejo a sponsor of this, but we truly wanted to be a partner and make sure that we can use our connections and our outreach to be able to spread the word. The Vallejo City Council has so many goals, youth being one of them. And so being able to have a space that kids don't have to pay to do something, that they can build relationships with kids from across Vallejo, whether they go to school with them or they just met them or they're just playing a friendly pickup game. That is so important. I want to also acknowledge that, you know, these roots started with our Vallejo Police Department and just wanting to provide that safety net, that safe space for Vallejo youth. Public safety is still a major goal of the city of Vallejo. And so acknowledging that our Vallejo Police Department has spent a lot of time and effort and energy trying to make sure that they secure these spaces and they're able to build those relationships is also been a really big goal and really important. I'm really excited because as one of the sponsors, we're able to sponsor Civic Engagement Night. And so, of course, we want to make sure that our youth, whether they're just learning about a city council or they've already been involved in ways to make their voices heard, understand that there are paths to civic engagement. There are paths to leadership in Vallejo, and there are paths to leadership, even starting with opportunities like interning for this program, to be able to gain those skills, to take them to the next leadership level and ensure that their voices are heard in all levels as they grow and become conscious and contributing members. So I just want to thank everyone again. I think it's really important that we as a community partner together and invest in programs like this. And we are really looking forward to being a partner for a long time. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Mark Lampkin, East Bay Basketball Official Board President, Vallejo Late Night Basketball Board Member. I got started officiating a long time ago. A guy who said, Mark, you're not playing anymore, you should start officiating. And I said, but I'm a guy who always gets a technical foul because I'm complaining to the officials. Because I didn't really know a lot of the rules. And as officials, you have to know the rules. And so being a part of Vallejo Late Night Basketball has been really kind of a full circle for me. I was part of the midnight basketball 30 years ago in Oakland, and I saw how that really impacted Friday nights in Oakland when, as we know, things happen when you're young and you want to be out and about. And basketball provided that off-the-street activity and camaraderie amongst those guys who might normally be beefing with each other, but now we're playing basketball together. So when I moved to Vallejo and I heard about the eyeball program, I volunteered a couple of times with that as well. And when it closed down, it was unfortunate. But what we live in now is a gig economy, meaning that people are doing all kinds of things to earn income. And so when Dr. Ramona Bishop lovingly poked me a couple years ago, said, Mark, you need to do a training program for youth for basketball officiating. And I said, oh, sure, we'll do that. And here we are now bringing it full circle for that. So you think about the opportunity that a young person can have to be able to learn a skill, and that's what it really is, a skill. It's a workforce development program that a person who can graduate high school and go to college across the country where there's going to be basketball games being played will now earn income doing something they love. And for those of you who don't know, a middle school basketball game pays $50. A high school basketball game pays $100. You do the math. And so we're giving young people an opportunity to earn real income doing something they love. And as we always say, stay in shape too. But the other side of that, they're going to learn skills that are going to help them in their life. Because as I lovingly say, every time I blow the whistle, I disappoint 50% of the people in the gym. Somebody says, Mark, great call. The other one says, that's a terrible call. And when I learned at some point not to take any of that personally, imagine us teaching those same kind of life skills to young people who now will be able to take that on in their other parts of their life. So we at East Bay Basketball Official are glad to be a part of this. Thank you, Dr. Bishop, for continuing to poke me and making sure that we get this thing rolling. I'm looking forward to it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jason Tom, the Vallejo Chief of Police. I just want to thank everybody for showing up here today in support of our program. I want to thank all the folks that you see up here that have worked behind the scenes, and some of us, like Lewis Michael, way in front, and Dr. Bishop and the electeds that really help set this in motion. So we're really happy to be a part of this program. Basketball has always been a special place to me. I'll share a personal experience. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I played basketball for my high school at the time. I was very tall for my age. I even got MVP in 8th grade. I just didn't realize I was not going to grow an inch taller after 8th grade, so it really set my basketball aspirations back a little bit. As a young officer, though, I worked a lot of these events as a police officer. I see the benefits, not only internally for our staff at the police department, but also it's really crafted in a way that provides safety for everybody involved. You know, the times and the dates are crafted to really provide this activity when nothing else is available. And of course, Friday nights between 6 to midnight, those are the hours and the days that sometimes crime peaks. So having this environment for our young people during those times is very important, because they could get sucked up into the wrong atmosphere by chance, or they could be victimized, you know, as well. But more importantly, I think that as Victoria was talking about, we really, really stress engagement with our officers. Unfortunately, when we had some bad patches with staffing, some of those engagement opportunities weren't really, you know, fully exercised. So we're happy to be able to be in a better position now to provide that engagement, to develop these relationships with the young folks. And the officers are not there for enforcement. They're there to connect with young people, to be mentors, to also just be their friend. So we do, though, value the relationships that we build with all the partners that come together. You see all different people from all aspects of community, because community safety is a community responsibility. This is demonstrated here today in this room. And lastly, I just want to speak to some of the security aspects. You know, obviously, just organically, people are going to know officers are there, but we have a lot of other security measures in place, you know, with security guards, some technology, and a variety of other security aspects that will ensure that these kids have the place to stay, they have a meal, they have good fun, you know, playing basketball, and also meet some of their local officers. So we're really proud to be part of this. Thank you guys so much for including us, and definitely hopeful that this is going to continue for many, many years and provide long-lasting stability for our young folks. Thank you.
And last but not least, my name is Bill Turner. I represent Yo Ball Sports. We have been in the Vallejo community since the early 2000s. We started in Oakland in the 1990s, our youth sports program. Personal something about myself, I grew up in midnight basketball back in the 80s. I played about from 80 through 83 and kept playing basketball up until then, you know, up until now. I'm an old man now, but the late night basketball has been a real good support for young men, on the strength of you get a chance to go out there, and a lot of the feelings that you had in the street, you could take it out on the court in a safe environment. And then when you walk away, 9 times out of 10, you walk away friends. And that's what we look forward to in doing the basketball operations part of late night, is when the guys come in, check their attitudes, get the teams together, have them understand that they are on teams. They're not individual. Nobody's Michael Jordan. Nobody's going to the NBA. But we are all here to have a good time. So for us, from our support part of it, we are here to foster the behavior. We're here to foster the fun environment, and then also help them with their skills, because we know they're here to play basketball and have fun. But we're going to have coaches. We're going to have 4 teams, possibly 5. And with our coaches, we're going to ask them to encourage skills. We're going to ask them to encourage teamwork. We're going to ask them to encourage teamwork and also patience. So a lot of times you'll think that you should have the ball when somebody else has the ball. And some of those kind of situations, if there's not a coach involved, can kind of spill over. So what we're bringing to the table is structure. What we're bringing to the table is competition. What we're bringing to this table is going to be a skill level. But most of all, what we're going to bring to the table is leadership and just someone to talk to, an older person. You never know what somebody's going through during the course of a day. You can't solve everybody's problems, but sometimes people just need somebody to listen to. And during these games, during these the downtimes, we're asking that the team stay together so that they could build a camaraderie between each other. So by the end of the season, they're more than friends, they're actual teammates through life. I know growing up in Midnight League back in the day, I'm still friends with most of those guys I played with. And we're talking over 40 years ago plus. One other thing I'd like to say, I'd be remiss to say, but our founder and our CEO, Vincent Woodard, is here in attendance at this time. It's been his vision that we've run with since the 90s, and we're continuing that. And we are proud and we are honored to be a part of late night basketball this year, and we're looking forward to a very, very successful season. Thanks.
Thank you. So I did want to allow for an opportunity for you all to hear from one of our interns. So I'm going to ask Layla to come up and just share a little bit, and then we'll close out in just a second.
Hey y'all, it's good to be here with y'all today. Well, first of all, I came back home from Dillard, and I was like, I came to the city council meeting and I was like, what we doing? You know, what's going on? And I am humbled to be invited to be an intern for Vallejo Late Night Basketball. I'm currently studying labor and employment studies at San Francisco State University, and I actually was a student athlete on scholarship at Dillard University. So I thrive in a controlled environment, but I do not like micromanaging. And so this opportunity to intern with Vallejo Late Night Basketball not only allows me to like immerse in everything that I love, let it be the people, let it be Vallejo, let it be sports, but it also allows me to hone in on some of the skills that I do plan on using in my career path, and how to build relationships and maintain and sustain relationships in community and what that really means and looks like in real time. So I appreciate Lewis Michael for bringing me forward, because I sure was about to say, let me go travel and get out of Vallejo real quick and not think about nothing at home. But this has kept my heart humble. This has kept me focused. And so I just look forward to the summer with y'all. So thank you.
Thank you, Layla. So that is one of our 6 interns. We have a few others who are high school and college students that will be supporting the program, all looking to build some skills, but also looking to just be a part of something positive and give back to the communities they're from. So all of our interns are at least from the Bay Area, with some of them being from Vallejo. I wanted to close out, just as I was hearing everyone talk, just a couple of things that I didn't mention, and I just want to kind of emphasize is this is also open to girls. Anyone, all youth are welcome. So it's not just for boys or men, but girls and young ladies as well can come. We had several last year. We hope to have more this year because it was really cool to see them be able to get in with some of the guys and be able to keep up with them. And if there's enough girls, they'll be able to run their own games, and it'll just be an all girls session. So depending on how many show up, we'll be able to support them and give them, that outlet as well. And then just last year, I just wanted to briefly share that last year we reached 228 youth through our program. So over the course of the 8 weeks last year, thank you. We had 228 youth come throughout those 8 weeks. This year, we're hoping to expand that and have more. We're in from all over, so we had 60 different schools across those 228 youth. So when thinking about college, community college, state universities, private schools, all of that, as well as local high schools and middle schools, and then several different zip codes. And then we also had a great range of ages from 12 to 25. So we have all the data in our impact report if you want to check it out on Vallejo Late Night Basketball website at latenightbasketball.org. And so we have that impact report. It kind of shows everything that we did last year and what we're doing this year to grow, expand, and improve. And so we're just hoping to keep building. And then lastly, I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of who our board is for late night basketball. So we're not a formal nonprofit, and the goal eventually is to find some way to sustain as an organization. And so we're trying to build the infrastructure and continue to like keep the ball rolling and move things forward while we're also building our infrastructure so that we can be sustainable. So our board, who currently sits on our board, is Dr. Bishop, Chief Tasha Johnson, Pastor Brian Harris, Katie Burns, and Mark Lampkin. So several of them are here today, but that is who kind of oversees and helps me with making decisions and just kind of guides us through the process. And we're happy to have that sort of support as we continue to build and hope to keep formalizing everything so that we can be sustainable. And then with that, I wanted to close out. If there are any questions, we're happy to take questions. If anyone wants to ask anything to any of us, and then we will wrap up.
Thank you for the question. Great question. So obviously the 8-week training this summer, they'll complete that. And once we finish with that, we would like to then roll them and fold them into our East Bay Basketball Officials Training Program. That'll start in September, and the basketball season will start in probably November. But we meet regularly, and we're doing some online things this year that are going to be really unique as well. So it pretty much will roll right from the summer into that fall session. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? All right. Well, anybody else need to say anything before we wrap up? All right. Well, thank you all for coming. If you need to contact Vallejo Late Night Basketball, you can reach out to info@latenightbasketball.org with any inquiries, questions, concerns. And we're looking forward to opening night on June 19th. 6 p.m. doors open, and we're hoping for a great summer. Thank you, everyone.